Do you get blank and cannot remember what you actually wanted to say on your turn in the meetings? Or are you struggling with the stage fright? Or do you become self-conscious in front of people? If yes, then 12 magical tips from book The Quick and Easy Way to Effective Speaking by Dale Carnegie will help you in mastering the art of delivery and expression. But before moving on to these tips, get aware of some strange facts that will give you new perspective of speaking. Fact number 1. You are not unique in your fear of speaking in public. Survey indicates that 90% of the people enrolled in speech class suffer from stage fright at the beginning of the course. Fact number 2. A certain amount of stage fright is useful. If the physiological changes like fast pulse beating, speeding respiration are held within limits, then you are capable of thinking faster, talking more fluently, and generally speaking with greater intensity than under normal circumstances. Fact number 3. The chief cause of your fear in speaking is simply that you are not accustomed to speaking in public. So to overcome this unwanted situation, practice, practice, and practice. Take a few seconds to acknowledge yourself and appreciate your move to eradicate this public speaking fear today. Now, if you really want to get better at communication skills or wish to become a public speaker, then follow these tips to instill in yourself the ability to think on your feet with self-confidence and poise. Number 1. Keep your goal before you. Project yourself into the future and then work towards bringing that projection into reality. Let's understand this with an example. Picture yourself on the stage where thousands of eyes are watching you and ears are waiting to hear from you. Imagine that you delivered a wonderful speech and received a standing ovation in return. Concentrate on this feeling by closing your eyes whenever your fear forces you to take a step back. You will see that your actions and efforts will get aligned to achieve the benefits you will receive through your ability to talk remarkably before the group. And this is bound to happen because William James says, if you care enough for results, you will most certainly attain it. Number 2. Prepare in the upright way. The most effective way to speak is to give up the habit to memorize talk word to word. If you write out and memorize your talk, then you are not only wasting your time and energy, but you are courting disaster to go blank and add ineffectiveness to the platform. Vance was a vice president for one of the largest insurance companies in the world. And because he had been highly successful, he was scheduled to make 20 minutes talk. Vance was delighted to be called upon and felt that it would give him a prestige. But he did a blunder by writing and memorizing his talk. He got well versed with every phrase, gesture, facial expressions in 40 rehearsals with the mirror. On the occasion, when he stood up to deliver the speech, his mind went blank. He tried to start over 3 times, but failed. And the audience howled with laughter, thinking that it's some kind of a real act. But for Vance, it was the most embarrassing situation in his life. Take a profit by his experience and vow not to memorize each word of the talk. Number 3. Develop confidence. Among all animals, only human being has the gift of verbal communication. It is through the quality of speech that you express your individuality, which is your essence. When you are unable to say clearly due to nervousness, timidity, foggy thought process, your personality gets dimmed out and gets blocked off. To radiate confidence on stage, speak about something you have earned the right to talk about through your experience or study. This means that tell audience what life has taught you. Modestly narrated real-life pictures of anyone's life is surefire material for the stage. Let your talk include the incidences of your childhood memories, school days, hobbies, specific area of knowledge, unusual experiences, beliefs, or early struggles of career, as they attest the value to the subject matter. Eventually, you will find that speaking in public will enable you to face what each day presents with sure touch that confidence brings. Number 4. Choose subjects that you are earnest about. After laying the foundation stones for speaking, now is the time to concentrate on the speech triangle of speech, speaker, and audience. You must be super excited about your subject to spread the essence of it. Fall in love with your subject, because unless you are emotionally involved in the subject matter you have chosen, you cannot expect to make your audience believe in your message. And to fall in love with your subject, learn more and more about it. As the more you know about it, the more earnest and enthusiastic you will be about it. Sounds like a tongue twister, isn't it? Number 5, limit your subject. Always remember that an effective speaker is one who makes his audience feel what he feels and who relieves his experience with him. In order to achieve this, you must relieve the feelings you have about the topic with the audience in a precise tone. Once your topic is finalized, make sure you pen down the areas that you want to cover and stay strictly within those limits to transmit a concrete message to the audience. In short talks of duration less than 5 minutes, it is recommended to get 1 or 2 main points across. And in case of long talks, let's say more than 30 minutes, try to touch deeply no more than 4 or 5 topics. Restrict your subject to fit the time at your disposal. Number 6, arrange your ideas in a sequence. In order to deliver something concrete to the audience, arrange your ideas in a logical sequence based on time or space. The best thing what you can do is to arrange them in past, present, and future whenever possible, as it always gives a feeling of story or movie to the audience. An expert tip to this can be always enumerate your points before you make them, because it is scientifically proven that things associated with numbers have larger retainment. Here is number 7. Make the points brief, specific, and actionable. Apply this magic formula for speech construction. Start your talk by giving the details of your examples, such that it revolves around the big idea. Secondly, in specific manner, tell exactly what you want your audience to do. And lastly, highlight the benefits that listeners will get after performing the asked task. This formula is an effective source of presentation in all walks of life. Number 8. Compare the strange with familiar. Mold the complexity into simplicity for your audience by turning a fact into the pictures and by avoiding the technical terms. If you state a fact that the nearest star is 25,000,000,000 miles away from Earth, then this figure cannot actually estimate the distance. Wherein, if you say that if you take off from Earth today at speed of light, which is 186,000 miles a second, then it would take 4.25 years to reach that star. The later sentence is more relatable, as it is able to draw an estimation in mind of listeners, and it also avoided the technical term light year. Before using any kind of technical term, make sure to introduce it to your audience. So think as a wise man, but speak as the common people. Number 9. Fill your talk with illustration and examples. If you're wondering how to make your content illustrative, then go with either of these 5 ways to give yourself an answer. Number 1. Humanize your talk. To get and hold attention, attempt to make only few points and illustrate them with the help of your background or convictions, because the audience can relate them well with their lives. Number 2. Personalize your talk by using names. Can you watch and like a movie in which hero has no name? Nothing adds more realism than names. By all means, when you tell a story involving others, use their names, and in cases where you don't want to reveal their identity, use fictitious name to ensure high listenability and interest. Number 3. Specify details in your talk. Use 5W formula that every reporter follows. When, where, who, what, why, to give life and color to your examples. Number 4. Dramatize your talk by using dialogues. This will give your speech the authentic ring of everyday conversation, and all you need is strong dialogue delivery. And number 5, visualize by using familiar words that create pictures. Did you ever pause to observe that the proverbs and similes are almost all visual sayings? You can lead horse to water, but you can't make him drink. Sly as fox, hard as rock. Don't forget that it is the detail that makes the conversation sparkle. Number 10, make your audience partner in your talk. Begin in a friendly manner and talk in terms of your listener's interest. Another way of keeping an audience at peak attentiveness is more and more audience participation. See, every talk has one of these 4 major purposes to serve: to persuade, to inform, to convince, or to entertain. State every point with force and conviction, and speak every word with contagious enthusiasm to glue your audience with your talk. Put your heart into speaking to attract mind of hearer while listening. Here is number 11. Don't try to imitate others. Be yourself. You have individuality, and as a speaker, it is your priceless possession. Cling to it, cherish it, develop it. It is the spark that will put force and sincerity into your speaking. Catch your friend who is interested in the subject and talk about what all you have learned at length. In this way, you discover facts of interpretation that you might have missed, points of arguments that had been unrealized, and the form most suitable for the story you have to tell. A serious warning here. Do not attempt to force yourself in mold and thereby lose your uniqueness. Last but not the least, number 12. Seize every opportunity that comes your way. Seek opportunities to speak, because no one can learn to speak in public without speaking in public, any more than person can learn to swim without getting into the water. You are surrounded by such opportunities on all your sides. Join forums, represent your office, volunteer events, teach a Sunday class, become a scout leader, discover your potential to the fullest. You will never know what progress you can make unless you speak and speak and speak again. Your competence in self-expression will lead to excellence in other walks of life, as virtue of effective speaking is the royal road to self-confidence in all the areas of working and living. To become a successful speaker, you need the qualities that are essential in any worthwhile endeavor: enthusiasm, persistence, and self-belief. If you have it, no obstacle in the world can stop you from being what you want. And now, if you're interested in getting a free PDF that I summarized from this book, then click on the link in the section below and I'll be happy to email it to you. See you next time. Until then, keep speaking.